Walk with Emma. It's a channel where I walk and sometimes talk in the Swedish nature. You're welcome to join me. Are you ready for some serious forest? Because today we're going into the woods. It's a peaceful day. Almost no wind. I will show you how the track looks like in front of us. I was very excited actually to go for my walk today. I think starting this channel was a good thing. I shared yesterday that I have this goal for myself to take a walk every day as part of regaining my health and energy. And it has been feeling a bit, I have had to force myself to go for the walks. But now when I'm bringing some company, so yesterday I walked longer than I'd had previously without bringing you. And today I actually looked forward to the walk, so I didn't stall too much in the morning. What has happened before is that I tend to drag it out until I see that, if I am going to take a walk, it has to be now before the daylight disappears, which is quite early in the winter time here in Sweden. So somewhere like middle afternoon, it gets dark. But this time today I woke up and it's a Sunday, so I could take it easy. I actually woke up around 8. Then I was sitting in my kitchen having some coffee for 2 hours and knitting and talking to my daughter. And then I went out for the walk. It's a bit of uphill in front of us, so I have to catch my breath. If you see the forest here in this area, you see that some of the pine trees are standing really tall, but the rest of the forest around here is still, it has not caught up. And this is because a couple of years ago, they chopped down a large part of the forest here. And you can see the same on the other side. And this, what I'm walking on is probably the like the tractor tracks from when they were working on the forest. But as we get further in, you will see more full forest. Sweden has a huge wood industry, so we sell a lot of wood abroad. Yeah. But when they cut a lot of the forest, it feels sad. The trail that we're going to, I have walked here many times before. Mostly in the summer. The forest, it looks so different in the wintertime. There was a bit of a snowfall yesterday, so you can see that, like if you look at the trees, even the small ones, they have this layer of snow. And even the path, the snow has covered up. Like the only thing I can see is a dog, little dog paws. So there's been a dog walking here, but and I can see that that dog has been following the trail. I noticed it when we walked up as well. But I can't see any human traces. So that's weird. But up here there are some more tracks, like fresh tracks from a scooter. So perhaps the dog, they're like the scooter tracks. Yeah, I don't know what the dog was doing over there, but perhaps it must have been loose without the without a necklace thing. Running down in that direction and perhaps coming back to the owner, I guess. Yeah. I do like to look at the tracks when I'm out, especially when the snow is fresh. You can see where the animals have been moving. Yeah, this will be like a recurring thing. Me unfogging my glasses. Let's see. Tuck my hair away. I've noticed my hair has become so dry in the winter. I think it's the cold. The cold also dries up skin. Perhaps you notice that if you live in a cold country, that your skin is drier in the winter. The air is less moist. So and that's why it like dries out the skin. but it seems to dry out my hair as well. So keeping it under the hat. Do you hear it? It's the sound of quiet. It's so quiet. Oh, I did promise you some forest. This is nothing. It's still a track. We have to go deeper. Okay, so I will show you the last sign of civilization. Here. There's like the electricity lines. You can see how it moves through the forest. But on the other side of this, will be no more human things. There's a little dog tracks. See the paws in the snow. He's following the scooter, I think. So he must have been loose and just running after the scooter, because there are no human tracks beside mine. So it's a happy dog. Have been running here. Well behaved as well. If he was allowed loose. Or she. Oh, there's a scooter coming now. Let's see. I will stand to the side. There they are. We're going in the other direction. Okay. They're not taking my way. you don't notice, but if you look back, you can see that we have been going slightly uphill. So I get a bit out of breath. It's heavy to walk with these boots as well. You can see some snow falling from the trees. Oh, no, it went still. So whenever there is there, see? It's not the snowfall, it's that comes from the trees when there is a little wind blowing. And you can see the clouds moving slowly. I have to take these small breaks, otherwise I will hate the walk. I used to have this, or I used to always be so productive. Even when I took walks, I would just walk non-stop. Preferably listening to an audiobook, developing myself. No more, not any longer. I don't listen to audiobooks while walking. Let's see, just take my gloves off. It's cold outside, but as you walk, you get warm. You have to take off some clothes. So the body is warming me up. A little further, I think I will stop and take off my shawl as well, if I find a good spot to put you down, my camera friend. Let's see. Yeah, you'll have to wait there. Let's see. I have to move the mic as well. It's on my shawl. I'll move it to my jacket. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did bring water. There. Ready to go? No? Fogging up again. Let's see. The next time I go to the eyewear store, I will ask them. They usually. Oh, sorry, I'm not touching the microphone, but I have to pull this up a bit. Okay. I will ask them. They have you pay extra for the anti-scratch thing, and then they have some so the glasses won't get blank. But I should ask them for an anti-fog treatment. I would bet there is none. There is probably not. I will have to, the glasses should have this heater fan thing like you have in the car. When the windshield fog up, then you put on the little little heaters. Let me know if you have tips, like a life hack, as my kids say. Mommy, I learned a new life hack. And they will tell me something that they learned. Usually from social media, like YouTube or something. Okay, let's see, we're approaching when we get off this bigger trail and into the forest. I haven't actually gone this far or walked this far into the forest in the winter before. But showing you a little deep forest feels motivating, so here we go. And now it's no longer uphill. Ah, freedom. Freedom. You know, one of the great things inside of the forest is that you can shout or make sounds. And no one will hear you. I had this friend, she's probably 70 years now, but we lost contact after I divorced my ex-husband. I did lose a few friends. Now, when you go no contact, you can't be in touch with anyone who is in touch with the abuser. But she is a lovely lady, and she do love nature. And she taught me a lot, like the plant life, the different names for the plants. And she even had this, like her father was into homeopathics. And plant-based medicine. So she had some like recipes that she did. One of them, St. John's Wort, I think it's the name in English. I can recognize that and pluck it as well, and I've dried it to use for tea when I found it. Grows more in the southern parts of Sweden, and it's good for like the mood if you're feeling a bit down, and PMS, I think. But she did not just, so I plucked it and dried it, but she put it in oil, I think. If I remember correctly, she put it in oil, and then she told me that the oil would turn red as it, like the active ingredients from the herb was drawn out into the oil. I don't know what she used that for. Anyway, her husband passed away in cancer like several years ago. I never met her husband, so we got to know each other when my son was small. She was his kindergarten teacher. But she told me that when she was grieving him, she would walk out into the forest, and then she would tell the trees about her sorrow. And she felt that they were her friends. I thought that it was a very comforting thought. And she told me, so this, my friend told me that she had a friend, so another woman that I never met, but she told me that this friend did like a similar thing, where she would go out into the forest and scream. And so she got in contact with this woman while they were both, like their husbands were in this not hospice. It was like a treatment center with a bit of a alternative approach, so a holistic approach thing. And it didn't cure him, but she said that it was so amazing to be able to go there because it like helped to make him feel better, and I guess for her to feel that they'd done everything that they could. But there she told me that she got in contact with this woman who also had a husband who had like end-stage cancer. So walking in the nature, in the forest, can be healing. And like if you're in an area where, like a remote area, then you are the only human probably in like miles distance. If there is not a scooter coming, but then you can hear them. And I think I actually hear a scooter. I guess it's coming my way. So better, let's see, if the sound is getting louder, I will have to move off this path. They can come quite fast. Okay, so I was wrong. I told you that there will be no signs of human, but there is actually not. So there is another electrical line here. I will show you because the view is amazing. You can see. Like the landscape, the mountains in the distance there. When they cut down the forest to make room for these, or they put up the electric line thing, then it opens up the forest a bit. Otherwise, you don't, like when there is a lot of trees close to you, you can't see far away in the distance. So, let's see, somewhere not too far, I walked like a pretty neat little path, like an animal path into the forest. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. Or perhaps, let's see, if I feel brave, we might take a new direction over there. It looks like able to get into a new part of the forest over there. Let's try it because, yeah. Okay, so I see the scooters going. This is the path that I was planning to go. And I see that there are scooters already, like they drive in there. But because let's take this way. In the summer, it's so much growth, like the plants, the bushes, the leaves. It's hard to see where, like, it's hard to find new paths into the forest, but it opens up a bit in the winter. So let's follow this trail here. And it's not very hard to I'm not that good, but it was not hard to find this path. There are scooters going before me. I found a new path. But at least a path I have not tried before. Okay, that's one tall pine tree. You see it? Let's see. That's the tall one. I showed you yesterday, like, oh, this is how tall the pine trees get in Sweden, but no, this is how tall they get. You see, like, behind it, you see an evergreen tree. That's like the usual length. It's like 2 or 3 times bigger than normal or an average tree. Let's see. Where do we go? I guess I might as well follow the scooters, because that would lead me back to civilization. Might as well try it. This is how the path looks here. So you see it's smaller. And I think if you look here people have been skiing as well. So the most recent tracks here are actually ski tracks. Then I have to be careful not to step on the ski tracks. When the next skier comes, they take the previous tracks. That makes it easier for them to ski. So if you step on them, you ruin the tracks. But if I walk in the middle, then no harm done. Okay, now we're in serious forest. Now you can listen to the sound of completely quiet. forest. Here there is, I stick myself. That's like a little tree. It's also an evergreen. I don't know the name in English. In Swedish we call it en. It has this smell to it. Like it grows some berries, and we call those en berries. And for some dishes, you can put those in, like the dried en berries. You can put it into the dish, and it gives it like a particular taste. And my grandfather, like once gifted me a butter knife, like a wooden butter knife made from that tree. And I had it for years. I don't know how it disappeared. I guess my ex-husband threw it away. He did throw a lot of things away. But it kept that smell, that particular smell of the en tree for years. Yeah, there you see it again. I will show you. This low, I will not touch the the little needles again. Like it's a low bush, and sometimes it gets a bit bigger. But I don't know how my grandfather got. Like he must have found a really big, like en berry bush, because to make a butter knife, you need like quite a big chunk of tree. And he did one for every grandkid, so we each got one, and then he like carved our names into the handle of the butter knife. Ja. Vi går över dagsstänkta berg, faller av, som lånat av kristallerna sin färg, faller av. Och sorger har vi inga, våra glada visor klinga när vi går, för dagsstänkta berg faller av. Så gladerligt hand ut i hand faller av. Nu går vi till fågel Fenixland, faller av. Till det sagoland som skiner av smaragder och rubiner. Nu går vi till fågel Fenixland, faller av. I am taking a chance here. There is, like probably for hunting, they have those little, they put them up to sit in when they like wait for the moose. There will be a team of hunters. Like in Sweden, when they moose hunt, there is a team of hunters. And then usually they have some dogs. and they send them, like the dogs run into the forest, and then they will find the moose and they will chase the moose toward the hunters so that they can shoot it. And I know, like in the technology area, there is even a thing that they have like a GPS tracker on the dog, and then they will see like when the dog is approaching them so that they are ready. I don't hunt, but I would actually like to, you have to have a license to be allowed to have a gun here in Sweden, or a rifle. No one has a gun, or you don't hunt with a gun. But people don't have weapons. There's another, it looks almost like a little tree house, but that's for hunting. I will show you. There. Another one. So, yes, and I'm actually, or perhaps that is a tree house. I don't know. If it was a tree house, it was ugly. But I can see a house between the trees, so perhaps it's a tree house. I got back to civilization, I told you. Now I know a new path in this forest. And it's always neater to go in a circle compared with going and then having to turn back. That feels like that's not very fun. So it's better to find a, let's see. There are some animal tracks, but I think that's a dog. Yes, it has run into the forest there. See the little paws? And quite a small one because the steps are it came from the house. See? And then it moves there to the house. So that's the dog walking itself. Now, some people live on the countryside and then they just let the dog out to do its business. Okay, so now I'm getting close to a road. You can hear the sounds from the cars. Yeah. So now I know kind of where I am. I will be able to get home from here quite easily. Okay. Thank you for walking with me today. I will continue to do these videos. If no one watches it, then it will become like a video journal.